Hi, my name is Kaylin, and I'm a former television host, music manager, artist, songwriter, dancer, performer. I've tried just about everything in the industry. And let me tell you, it is not an easy industry, as you all know. Do you really want to be famous? Why do you want to be famous? I thought I wanted to be famous. There's many people that thought they wanted to be famous, like Whitney Houston and others, and they decided that they didn't want to be once they got so famous that their life changed for the worse in a lot of ways. Um, I learned that I didn't want to be famous once I got a little celebrity because I didn't like, I like my freedom and I didn't like people being fatal attractions and things like that. So, I mean, there's all types of things that comes with it. You have to worry about your safety. You have to worry about, you know, just people using you for whatever reason. And you have to be realistic about your talent. Are you really talented? Do you have the it factor? Um, how do you look? Unfortunately, this business is very visual, and many stars have changed and fixed their physical, you know, uh, looks just to make sure that they make it in the business. There's many other things that you need too. Not always the top people make it in the business. It's the ones with the hard connections. Maybe their family. It's a family business. They've had mothers and fathers who've been actors or singers or producers, and they all pass it down to their kids and their network and their connections. So you sometimes, a lot of times, to be famous, it's like a class thing. It's um, sent down in each generation, and if you also you need a great manager, and if you don't have a great manager, it could take you down even further. Are you manageable, by the way? I mean, because if you don't listen to anyone else and you think you know it all, you won't make it either. Many people have missed out on their opportunity because they didn't listen to other people. They thought they knew everything. The ego is a big thing with artists. So, sorry to say. But that's because I don't know, maybe because people are insecure or whatever. Why do you want to be famous anyway? Being famous for what reason? Money? Guys who get it to get girls. Girls like the attention and I also the money, of course. I mean, everybody wants to be rich, but really, why do you have a need to be famous? Because if you do, you better have a work ethic. This is way harder than working a 9 to 5, and you have to really want it. Once I found out that I didn't really want to be so famous, once I lost my TV show because the channel, the actual TV channel had been canceled, so I lost my show. But I could have gotten back in it and gone further with it. But you know what? I didn't want it bad enough. So I let it go. And then I went back into my music. But the things I learned, especially being with bands who, weren't serious, I lost record deals because the other people in the group. I mean, all kinds of things happen. Besides, creeps wanting to, hit on you and do all those kinds of things. There's a lot of things that go along with fame, and it's not nice. The ones who have made it big, they've sacrificed a lot, whether it's your relationships or with your family. There's a lot of things you're going to sacrifice. So if you really want to do it, you better love it. I mean, you have to love it so much where you can't see your life without doing it. And the younger you start, the better, because it takes a while to hone your skills, and it takes a while to get into the right people. Um, they say that you don't necessarily have to live in Los Angeles or New York or Tennessee, wherever you need to be. But it does help because I know when I lived in Los Angeles, I made connections quickly with other musicians so I could record, songs and do that type of thing. But I think I liked being on TV better. You can start off at locally and then move your way around. But since everything has changed and you can do everything online, it's a big difference. I mean, you want to build your fame by being a YouTuber? Do you want to build your fame on the big time, like a, real TV, real radio? I mean, that's what they call it. I mean, you can be an independent artist and you can make money, but you have to do a lot of, shows and a lot of marketing. There's a lot of things that go into being famous. It's not just that easy. It's almost like the stars have to align and you have to really be ready for it because it's going to be a road trip. The other thing, do you know if you want to, go on road trips in a van with a bunch of people that don't necessarily like, and you need to do gigs and you need to, write songs. You need to have your band together. The band, if they don't stick together, it's hard to make it as well. So when people make it as a band, I give them the utmost respect because it is really tough to keep a band together. But do you really want to be famous? I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, and you have to deal with a lot of people that want you to do certain things. And I'm not going to say, but I didn't want to sell my soul, so I decided to get out when I did. Of course, it was weird going back into a 9 to 5 and people recognizing you and saying, "What are you doing here? You're like on your TV show." So that's the one thing that's hard to do is to go back to the normal life after being out, in Celebrityville. But it can be done if you want to. You can go on and go for it, but don't think that, oh, I'll never be famous. Well, if you're good, there's a big chance you could be famous. Somebody might see you. You might be in the right place at the right time. So if you don't want to be famous, don't keep pursuing this craft and in music, arts, acting, whatever it is, because you may get what you ask for and then find out that it's not as great as you think. So there's many other ways you can make money, whether it's in technology or whatever. I think people now have a lot more choices, but the industry has changed a lot, and you would be lucky if you find um, good management, good people to be around. That's what you want to do. There's a book called uh, Grit. You Need Grit and Passion: Mastering the Music Business by Dee Gray on Amazon. That's another good way of finding information on being in the business, no matter if you're producer, writer, songwriter, whatever, engineer. All this information is great for you because you have to deal with the same type of stuff. So I wish everyone the best. And so you really want to be famous? Go for it then.